You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the Higher Society organization hosting their second annual Community Fest.
Plus, the Pittsburgh Fire Department spreads awareness ahead of Fire Prevention Week.
And we've got ourselves a cool start to the day, but an absolutely gorgeous Monday across the area. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The birds every time.
It doesn't take much, Chris. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, dodging the birds just after 7 a.m. on this Monday morning across the area. So, oh man, it's been a Monday here at the KOAM studios.
Yes,
it has absolutely been a Monday, but this is a whole new hour, whole new show, and it's going to be an even better Monday. I have a good feeling. And a lot lot of folks in the community getting together over the weekend for a very special
ton of events
festival.
going on.
Oh,
yeah, everyone's celebrating
it's fall festival time, you know?
Exactly. Well, yesterday the Higher Society organization hosted their second annual Community Fest to bring Joplin residents together. The event was held in Landreth Park, and KOAM's Jasmine Knight was there for the story.
Landreth Park was filled with hundreds of people having a great time. All around, there were people riding scooters, blowing bubbles, and enjoying delicious food and even more.
So Community Fest is our effort to continue the community vibe within the Joplin area. We just wanted an opportunity for individuals to come out and listen to live music, have access to food, and just join each other as a community.
Some of the other activities included live music, classic cars, food trucks, bouncy houses, and games.
So last year they had about 1,200 show up. It was during a little bit hotter time of the summer, so we're really hoping that we can at least double that and really bring out as many of the community that want to come out and enjoy the event and enjoy the music and come watch the Chiefs game and enjoy some great food.
Community Fest is hosted every year by the Higher Society. They are a nonprofit that specializes in positive change in Joplin. They host various personal wellness, community involvement, and business events.
And in doing so, we have our community cleanup efforts. On Sunday mornings, we go downtown and surrounding areas and pick up the litter that is left behind by others. We also have a mission of working towards creating a shelter in the Joplin area that is similar to a safe haven shelter, meaning you don't have to have certain stipulations, you don't have to go to church, you don't have to do work, all of that kind of stuff.
For business owners, Community Fest is a great way for them to get to know the community that they serve.
For real, it's for the kids. Kids getting older, we got 2 and 1 on the way, so
if you want to have some of the best sweets and treats, or even just hang out and have a great time, check out Joplin's Community Fest. Reporting in Joplin, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
The event was free for the public to attend and looked like a great time had by all.
It certainly did. And of course, as you mentioned, lots of things going on this past weekend because we're getting into fall festival time. You know what else is free of charge?
What?
This gorgeous look at the sunrise over Joplin. This is our camera at 7th and Rangeline. As you can see, there is not a cloud in the sky out there. It looks absolutely beautiful, and that's how our Monday is going to remain here in the 4 states. MoDOT camera 32nd and Rangeline. Now, of course, it's looking to the north, so the sunrise is back over here, but still, you can see not a cloud in the sky out there, and that's the way it's going to be. I meant to take that out. I thought I unchecked that box, which now makes me wonder if I checked another box that I actually need somewhere. And I did, because I know what I'm missing now. Okay, well, that's all right. I unchecked the wrong box, but that's all right. As we get our morning started, there might be a stray cloud or two. We are otherwise looking at sunny skies. We're going to go into the low 60s by late morning. Our temperatures are going to continue to trend upward as we head toward the middle of the week before the roller coaster ride we've been on the last about week and a half is going to take a huge dive. We're talking a 40-degree dive in a single day. We'll talk about that in your full forecast, and I'll get the right boxes checked over there in the system, and we'll look at everything you need to know here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The Pittsburgh Fire Department held an open house yesterday for Fire Prevention Week. The purpose of the open house was to educate the community on fire safety through activities and discussions. Fire Prevention Week is officially October 8th through the 14th. However, the Pittsburgh Fire Department will be raising awareness for the entire month of October.
All right, so as we get into October, which is Fire Prevention Month, we get out to the schools, we get out just to bring awareness for fire prevention, to prevent the emergencies that we respond to.
The Pittsburgh Fire Department conducted fire safety talks at area schools leading up to National Fire Prevention Week. Baxter Springs is remembering the 160th anniversary of Quintrail's attack on Fort Blair, a battle that was part of the Civil War. The two-day event counts on reenactors in period attire, battle engagements, weapon and cannon firing displays, and an opportunity to travel back in time and learn more about local history.
A lot of times I try to stay to the era time-wise, because whenever we start up, I'll hide anything that's not period pieces. Of course, obviously, it's all got to be carried in new stuff today. We try to stay in the time period while we're doing this.
You're walking down the same course that our soldiers walked down. You can feel their emotions. You can feel the anxiety, the pain, the anticipation of what's going to happen.
The event happens every 2 years in Baxter Springs. Activities were set to happen until 2:30 p.m. on Sunday at the Baxter Springs Heritage Center and Museum. Up next, why the Food and Drug Administration is announcing a proposal to start regulating medical lab tests. And later, a study shows long cold appears to be a thing. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Health Watch this morning, Arkansas health officials say that a case of locally acquired malaria has been reported in the state. It brings the total to 10 in the number of cases in the U.S. this year. The resident had not traveled out of the country. 5 other malaria cases have been reported in Arkansas this year, but all of those infections were acquired out of the country. Malaria is spread through bites from a particular type of mosquito. Most Americans who catch it do so overseas in areas where the disease is more common, for example, in Africa. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says in the years before the pandemic, about 2,000 cases were reported annually in the U.S., mostly travel-related. Around the U.S. this year, 7 cases of locally acquired malaria have been reported in Florida, Maryland, and Texas. And the Food and Drug Administration is announcing a proposal to start regulating medical lab tests to ensure that patients aren't getting incorrect results. Laboratory medical testing is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and the regulations will focus on high-tech labs at academic medical centers and diagnostic companies. These institutions test for a variety of diseases like cancer, heart conditions, sexually transmitted diseases, and Lyme disease. The FDA has been pushing for increased scrutiny of lab testing because it fears patients who receive incorrect test results may seek improper treatments for their conditions. The regulations are not finalized, and there is no timeline for when they will be officially enforced. The public can comment on the proposal 60 days before the agency drafts the final rule. And we know about long COVID, but now there's a study that says that long cold appears to be a thing. Researchers in the UK looked at surveys of more than 10,000 people. They found, much like long COVID, when symptoms persist after an infection has cleared, other respiratory infections may continue to affect people who believe they are on the other side of it. Researchers still can't say how long a long cold could last in comparison with long COVID, but the study said hopefully that the new findings will motivate further work into the understanding, diagnosis, and treatment of syndromes after an infection. The study was published Friday in the Lancet's eClinical Medicine Journal. And nearly half of women 40 and older who get mammograms have dense breast tissue, according to the National Cancer Institute. Yet many of them do not know or realize how it impacts their cancer risk. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Joanne Pushkin started annual breast cancer screening at age 40. At 46, she found a lump, which was not picked up by a mammogram.
I found out I had breast cancer, that it had been missed by mammography because of dense breasts, and that I had dense breasts all within 10 minutes of each other. And I had the ultrasound, 15 minutes later, and there it was, clear as a bell.
She had later stage cancer, which required many surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation.
I really feel like I was effectively denied an earlier stage diagnosis, so there was no awareness that we should be discussing additional screening, no awareness that dense tissue hides breast cancers.
That's because dense breast tissue can look white on a mammogram, and masses and cancers can also look white.
Mammography alone is not adequate screening for women that have dense breast. Additional imaging, such as MRI or ultrasound, should be done.
The American Cancer Society says women with dense breasts also have a higher risk of breast cancer.
Dense breasts are much more common in younger women. Having that information is actually very important in understanding how you should be screened and what your risk is.
Information Pushkin didn't have, so she created Dense Breast Info. She fought for a New York State breast density law and testified before the FDA. As of next September, all mammogram reports sent to patients will be required to include breast density.
Nothing I'm doing is going to save any woman from getting breast cancer, unfortunately. But what this does is increase the possibility that we're going to find it early.
She's also working on legislation that would make insurers cover all breast imaging costs for higher risk women.
The American Cancer Society says if a woman has dense breast tissue, it's still important to have regular mammograms because most breast cancers can still be seen on mammograms, even in dense tissue.
Well, we've got a pretty cool start to the day out there for our Monday morning. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line. You can see, though, we have clear skies out there as well. Quick look outside. Clear in Joplin, clear in Pittsburgh. 49 in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh. We are, again, looking at a nice Monday across the area ahead of a big warm-up and another significant cool-down. Well, another complete look at your forecast in just a moment. And coming up, just in time for spooky season, there's a new Goosebumps series that's heading to streaming. We'll have the details. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:16 now on this Monday morning. To quick look outside, MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line in Joplin, showing us clear skies across the horizon out there. Again, KDOT camera in Pittsburgh, or just south of Pittsburgh rather. It's looking a little more down, can't see the sky, but I assure you, those skies are clear out there. And our camera at 7th and range line showing you the same thing. Clear skies. We are a little bit on the cool side though, sitting at 49 with a calm breeze across the city of Joplin. And we still have that dividing line right along I-44 where we've got a southwesterly breeze out south of I-44, northerly breeze back behind that. So it has brought temperatures down a bit behind there, and there's still a pinch warmer off to the south. So 46 Pittsburgh, Lamar, 48 Fort Scott, Nevada, 49 in Chanute, 43 in Parsons, 48 Chatopa, 51 Miami, 53 in Neosho, and up to 54 Grove, 55 in Cassville. So again, ahead of this, that breeze is still from the southwest, a little bit warmer, but you get back behind it, it is just a little bit on the cooler side. Getting our morning started, maybe a stray cloud or two, unlikely but possible. Otherwise, sunny skies. We're going to go into the low 60s as we head into the late morning hours, and we head into the afternoon. On the average, looking at highs upper 60s, low 70s across the region. But again, you head to our western counties, so let's say Chanute, Yates Center, Independence, points west. Might be a little closer to normal, a little bit warmer, right around the mid-70s, but all of us getting in on plentiful sunshine this afternoon. Heading into the evening hours, looking great, clear skies, and because it's not wintertime yet, we're not into that mess, our temperatures don't plummet under the clear skies, but without that thermal blanket from the clouds, we do cool back quickly, and we'll eventually make it back into the mid to upper 40s across the area. Then, the big changes coming in the 7-day forecast, and boy, it is some significant ones. Temperatures continuing to increase through about Thursday, so we're going to go right around 80. We've got partly cloudy skies for our Tuesday, increasing clouds through the day Wednesday with a slight chance of a stray evening shower or two. Most of us will remain dry, but a stray shower or two possible. Then comes Thursday, better chances for more organized, a little more widespread showers and thunderstorms, and the system Thursday is going to be a pretty potent one. So again, we're making it close to 80. 40-degree drop as we head into the evening. This is a day where those temperatures are going to drop quickly behind this system after the storms and showers roll through. So do be prepared for that. That's a huge drop in a single day. Then we go beyond that into the weekend. Temperatures do not recover. Not near normal at all. We're talking 10 to 15 degrees below normal. We'll hang out in the low 60s. Eclipse day, by the way, about 63 to 65% totality in our area in the afternoon or morning, late morning, afternoon. Sunny skies. So we'll have an excellent opportunity to see that. Overnight lows stay chilly as well, hanging out in the low 40s. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Well, it's October. And that means it's time for things to get a bit spooky. Yes. And we've got a new Goosebumps series that's heading to streaming.
All right, Rick Demigala reports.
Have we met? Nathan Bratt. I'm the new English teacher.
Goosebumps makes its return to television in a new streaming series.
The Biddle House.
I did hear the horrible story about the boy who used to live there.
You know, I hear it's haunted.
Rob Letterman, director of 2015's Goosebumps movie, is an executive producer of the series.
I did the first movie, and then Neil Moritz, who's the producer on it, called me. I think it was like literally the week as the pandemic was hitting, and said, I got the rights back for a TV series. Would you be interested? And I was like, yes.
This is all connected. He's getting revenge for what our parents did to him.
I love horror. I just have never really done it before, but I love The Shining is a movie I watch like once a year at least. And to get to do something with visual effects, all of that seemed really exciting to me creatively.
Oh my God, we're murder nepo babies.
Those books were really well written. They never pandered down to kids, which I think is really important. They were compelling and scary and funny and had heart, and they were relatable, and they had universal themes to them.
It's time for them to learn the truth.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Very cool. I was a big fan of Goosebumps growing up. I read all the books as a kid.
And having a new series out there, I think, is going to be great, especially in time, as we said, for spooky season.
Who doesn't love Halloween? Well, coming up, hot air balloons from all around the 4 states light up the sky as part of Columbus Day Festival.
And we've got ourselves an absolutely beautiful Monday across the area. We'll take a look at that forecast when we come back.
Four States' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:27 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Police body camera footage gives a new look inside the controversial searches carried out nearly 2 months ago in Marion, Kansas. Police raided the office of the Marion County Record and the homes of the newspaper's owners and the city's vice mayor, and it has since gained international attention. Reporter Sean Loging has more.
Mind accompanying this officer outside if you would?
Me?
Please. You're not in trouble. We're just conducting a search warrant.
A new perspective on the August 11th searches at the Marion County Record, the home of the paper's owner, Eric and Joanne Meyer, and the home of the city's vice mayor, Ruth Herbal.
Object to this on the grounds of the Kansas Shield Law.
At the paper's office and Herbal's home, the video shows staff and Herbal being read their Miranda rights.
The search warrant covers us recovering everything.
The searches stem from former Marion Police Chief Gideon Cody's investigation into alleged identity theft for accessing local cafe and restaurant owner Carrie Newell's driving record through the Kansas Department of Revenue's website.
You understand we have to recover evidence and allow a forensic team to go through it.
This doesn't put a very good light on the police department.
KDOR has said the search by one of the paper's reporters was legal as the agency's online search tool is available to the public. The body camera video shows the officers taking computers, cell phones, and other electronics, along with some documents.
Does it have Carrie's name on it? I didn't look that close, but yep, it does. Anything else? I was just thumbing through it. Council meeting. Mag it and tag it, boys.
The search has been criticized by legal experts and free speech advocates as a violation of the First Amendment and freedom of the press.
I'm asking, do you want to look through this desk?
We're using to allow our staff into the record and they have full access to our newsroom. Gideon Cody is in there. Gideon Cody, we have confidential information we've gathered about Gideon Cody that he's probably inspecting right now.
Hey, keep a personal file on you.
Well, we've got a chilly start to our day here in the 4 states, but it's going to be a pretty nice one out there. We've got clear skies that you can see from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, and clear skies also visible from the MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line. And clear skies are abundant across the area. We're sitting at 49 in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh right now. So again, a bit of a chilly start. However, if you're ahead of this boundary, you're a little bit warmer. Some of our southern counties into the low 50s with a southwesterly breeze breeze. The rest of us northerly breeze, and we're all going to get in on that later. Could see a stray cloud or two. Otherwise, we are looking at sunny skies. We're going to push in the low 60s by late morning. We have some pretty big changes in our forecast this week. We'll take a look at that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The Columbus Day Festival's hot air balloon regatta lit up the October sky yesterday morning with around 20 balloons from all over the area taking off. Events have been happening all last weekend, and it's a chance for community members to get together and enjoy fall festivities and all the hot air balloon action.
The people you meet as you're doing the event is always fun, and then flying in new places, so we're always looking for new places new communities and new events to go to, but we also love coming back to our old favorite ones like this one.
This was the last regatta of the festival, and each balloon and pilot was sponsored by the Columbus Chamber of Commerce and other area sponsors. The community of Girard also celebrated the start of Fall Saturday with their Fall Festival. The event included a 5K fun run, pancake feed, parade, and its annual Rollin' Nostalgia Car Show. Girard High School students also had a fall fundraiser cakewalk to raise funds for their senior trip. And communities all around the 4 states spent the day outside enjoying the fall weather. The Barton County Chamber of Commerce yesterday kicked off the Wyatt Earp Fall Fest in Lamar, Missouri. It included various food and arts and craft vendors, as well as some performances from local musicians.
There's a Wild West reenactment group here, and they can throw you in jail, or I actually just got out. They do skits about every 30 minutes, and so yeah, it's definitely different than most of the fall festivals.
The event included a Wyatt Earp Park ribbon cutting and dedication. Fall festivities continued in Neosho, Missouri with a Fall Fest on the Square event. It included food, trucks, games, prizes, and different arts and crafts activities. The purpose of the event was to get outside and enjoy the weather while supporting downtown businesses. More than 180 vendors were at the event. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. At least 4 Americans are among the hundreds killed after Hamas launched an attack on Israel. We'll have the latest.
And again, look at that. A beautiful, clear start to the day across the area. Don't worry about what you think might be clouds. That's actually just a spider web up there. We are going to have an absolutely gorgeous Monday and big changes in the forecast coming up. We'll take a look at all of that when we come back.
A U.S. official says at least 4 Americans are among the hundreds killed after Hamas launched an attack on Israel. One of the targets, an Israeli techno music festival. The country says it's at war and is vowing harsh retaliation. CBS News correspondent Naomi Richam has the latest from New York.
The night sky over Gaza glowed orange as Israel launched more airstrikes overnight. Palestinians ran for cover after an earlier attack. Bulldozers cleared some of the rubble in Gaza. Israeli soldiers converged on the south, where Hamas says it took dozens of hostages. Frustrated family members of the missing are gathering at a center in Tel Aviv.
We don't know what's going on. No one's talking to us. We can't get in contact with anyone.
The U.S. is sending a carrier strike group to the region in support of Israel, which includes the Navy aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford.
The only things we've said to Israel are that we're here, we've got your back. We want to make sure that you have the support that you need.
Some GOP presidential candidates are criticizing the Biden administration's response.
There's a lack of leadership at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to President Biden and the leaders of Germany, Ukraine, Italy, and Britain, who offered their support.
Now is not a time for equivocation, and I'm unequivocal. Hamas and the people who support Hamas are fully responsible for this appalling act of terror.
The permanent observer of Palestine to the United Nations called for an end to Israeli occupation.
It is time for an immediate end to the violence and the bloodshed.
Israel is already mourning its victims, including an Israeli policeman.
The death toll on both sides has topped 1,000. Israel says more than 700 have died, mostly civilians, and more than 2,100 were hurt. The Labor Department says that the U.S. added nearly double the new hires expected in September.
And we've been talking about it, and we'll show it to you here in just a moment. Not only do we have a beautiful day today, but big changes on the horizon. We'll look at your full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:39 on this Monday morning. We are almost through the day. Okay, actually, I'm sorry. The morning show is almost through the day. The rest of us just getting the day underway, but hey, it looks great out there. Clear skies from the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line and from the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th, just south of Pittsburgh. So again, you can't see the sky, but take a look. You can see the sunshine. Clear skies out there as well. And if you don't believe me, look at this wider view from our camera at 7th and range line. Clear skies out there, but cool. For sure. 49 is where we're sitting in Joplin. Here's that boundary now just to the south of I-44. So if you're back behind it, we're a little cooler. We're talking 45 Pittsburgh, 43 Parsons. I love when these update live. 49 Chanute, 46 Iola, 48 Yates Center, 45 Chatopa, 46 Miami, 47 Neosho, so they're right on that boundary now. 50 in Monette, 50 Cassville, still warmer to the south, 52 in Bentonville. We're all going to get that northerly breeze, and it keeps us cool today, but not too bad. Sunny skies, low 60s by late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, on the average, highs upper 60s, low 70s. And I say that simply because, again, our western counties, so we're talking Chanute, Yates Center, Fredonia, Independence, and Points West, probably a little closer to normal today. So you're going to get a little warmer, right around the mid-70s out there. Then we'll hold on to those clear skies tonight, and where temperatures will gradually drop back eventually in the mid to upper 40s across the area. And then it's the 7-day forecast that's the thing that we really want to talk about here, because that's where the big changes are. Now, from tomorrow through Thursday, temperatures continue this warming trend. It's right near 80 degrees by Thursday. Some evening showers on Wednesday possible. Most of us dry, increasing clouds. And then thunderstorm chances increase by Thursday evening. Once that system passes through, it is a potent one. So we're keeping an eye on it. Right now, we're not anticipating severe weather, but it is something we'll keep an eye on. One thing it's going to do for sure, 40-degree drop in temperatures. 40 degrees in a single day, from right around 80 into the 40s, maybe even some upper 30s out there. And then we don't recover at all. Temperatures remain cool. We're in the low 60s heading into the weekend. Eclipse day, Saturday. Looking great, though, to be able to see that. We've got mostly clear skies out there. Cool, though. You're going to want a jacket as we're sitting right around 60. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Caitlin with a check of Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, boom goes the jobs report. The Labor Department says the U.S. added nearly double the new hires expected in September, marking the 33rd straight month of growth for the labor market. But who is doing the hiring, and what about wage increases? Laura Aguirre breaks down the jobs report.
This morning we learned the economy created 336,000 jobs in September alone. That means since I've taken office, we've created 13.9 million new jobs.
President Joe Biden taking a victory lap Friday over September's turbocharged jobs report.
It's Bidenomics. We're growing the economy from the middle out, the bottom up, not the top down.
September's gains reflect the largest monthly jump since January, and the unemployment rate holding steady from August at 3.8%. Hospitality and leisure led the hiring surge, like restaurants, hotels, and travel, areas that previously struggled to recover after the pandemic, followed by government and healthcare. Hourly average wages were just shy of estimates, but still trending up.
We still have more work to do on inflation, but also some growth in wages, especially among the lowest paid workers.
The strong jobs report could be too much of a good thing, points out some federal officials, noting that the central bank could keep hiking interest rates to fight inflation if it feels the economy is strong enough to handle them. Still, for most Americans, more jobs and rising wages are a win-win.
It means there are more opportunities for people sharing their part of the American dream.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Inflation gouges closely tracked by the feds have cooled significantly since hitting highs last year, but that downward trend is slowing in part to rising gas prices. And the president of the United Auto Workers Union joined a rally in Chicago over the weekend for striking workers. Sean Fain says that the strike is winning concessions from the big three automakers, but he says more negotiations are needed to improve retirement benefits. The union also wants pay hikes and more job security. And some striking Kaiser Permanente workers returned to work without coming to an agreement. More than 75,000 striking Kaiser Permanente workers returned to their jobs Saturday without a contract agreement. It was the largest healthcare strike ever, and it could happen again in the coming weeks. Negotiations are scheduled for later this week. And that broken record continues of no one winning the Powerball lottery jackpot. The latest drawing was Saturday, opening the possibility of a win for tonight. The jackpot is now over $1.5 billion, the fourth largest prize in lottery history. And with the holiday season fast approaching, there are growing concerns that airlines will not be ready for the influx of travelers. According to a new report from USPIRG, a consumer watchdog group, flyer complaints are hitting new highs this year. Ian Rodriguez reports.
Holiday travelers could be in for another rough go at the airport this year. A new report from USPIRG found flying has not gotten much better since a highly problematic 2022.
Flying is still really stressful, filled with way too many delays, cancellations, fees that people don't expect, lost baggage, damaged wheelchairs, all of it.
And the threat of government shutdown could make it worse. The new deadline for Congress to fund the government hits just as travel is expected to pick up. While TSA agents and air traffic controllers are considered essential, they would be working without pay.
Then you would start seeing people call off work because they might go choose to do something like DoorDash or something so they could bring in money.
To avoid major headaches, travel experts have a few suggestions. Book directly through the airlines, try to take an early morning flight, download your airline's app. It's the fastest way to stay up to date on your flight status and to make any changes if necessary. If problems do happen, know that you do have rights. Reach out to the airlines first. If they do not offer a meaningful resolution, you can file a complaint with the Department of Transportation. Teresa Murray with USPIRG says the key is to follow through.
Sometimes you think that they're just trying to wear you down and wait you out. If you haven't heard something in 30 days, then follow up. Because nothing ever is going to change unless people are willing to speak up for their rights.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Recently, a New Yorker on a road trip discovered he had a hitchhiker with him during his drive upstate. While driving, he suddenly found himself eye to eye with a rat peering through the windshield at 45 miles per hour.
Now, apparently, the big rodent had been with him since he left the Big Apple. CNN's Jeannie Moose reports on the rodent rider.
We've all heard of rats in the hood, but rats on the hood?
Holy hell.
He popped up towards the end of a 3-hour drive from Brooklyn.
I brought a rat with me
to an upstate New York wedding.
The only thing you can do is just kind of keep driving. I mean, the comments on the social media is like, put the windshield wipers on.
But Kevin Coop was minutes from his destination, so he just kept going.
Where'd it go?
Was there ever a moment when he looked like he was going to blow off or anything?
No, and it's on the windshield. There's no grip there or anything like that. So I was amazed by it.
When Kevin arrived at the wedding, the uninvited guest inspired screeching.
I don't know where to go. Yeah. I don't know where it went. Just don't eat my wires!
And definitely don't drive the car away. Researchers at the University of Richmond taught 17 rats to drive little electric cars a few years back using Fruit Loops as incentives. They steered by putting their feet on 3 horizontal copper wires that made the car go right, left, or straight. Okay, they had some head-on collisions, but eventually they were able to make a beeline to the treat dish as if they were heading to the McDonald's drive-thru. When the wedding festivities ended 2 days later, Kevin found no wires chewed.
Anybody home?
And no sign of the rat. Sure, you can buy a fake rodent to adorn your car, but Kevin's BMW had a living, breathing rat for a hood ornament. Ginny Mose, CNN, New York.
I like how he just disappears.
He just dropped right in there.
Gone, just like that. He should have just told them it was their wedding gift, but it got out of the car.
That's one heck of a wedding gift, Chris.
Nothing like a large rat saying, "Congratulations on your nuptials." This is why I don't do any of the gift shopping, so because that would have been my first choice. But I tell you what, I've got a slightly better gift. How about the gift of a beautiful Monday?
Hey, we'll take that.
We certainly will. Take a look at this. Our camera, 7th and Range Line, looking at clear skies out there. Or as Irving Berlin once said, blue skies do I see. And that's what we've got from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line as well. Quick look outside, of course, clear skies, both Joplin, Pittsburgh, still on the cool side, 49 in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh. And as our morning gets underway, we're going to have a few clouds possible. But as you just saw on those cameras, not very likely. Sunny skies across the area. We're going to push the low 60s as we head into the late morning hours. And boy, we've got a just wild 7-day forecast for you. If you haven't seen it yet, all I'm going to tell you right now is we're talking a single day 40-degree temperature drop. You're going to have to stick around and find out what day that is and just how cold it's going to get. Plus, we've got the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Berry County, Missouri arrest a man wanted for assault and armed criminal action in McDonald County. Authorities say 40-year-old David Watkins beat a man with a 12-gauge shotgun during a fight this past July. He was found Saturday in a home in Cassville. He has since been transferred to the McDonald County Jail. The Pittsburgh Fire Department held an open house yesterday for Fire Prevention Week. The purpose of the open house is to educate the community on fire safety through activities and discussions. Fire Prevention Week is officially October 8th through the 14th. However, the Pittsburgh Fire Department will be raising awareness for the entire month of October. The Pittsburgh Fire Department conducted fire safety talks at area schools leading up to National Fire Prevention Week. The Columbus Day Festival's Hot Air Balloon Regatta lit up the October sky yesterday morning with around 20 balloons from all over the area taking off. Events have been happening all last weekend, and it's a chance for community members to come and enjoy fall festivities and all the hot air balloon action. This is the last regatta of the festival, and each balloon and pilot was sponsored by the Columbus Chamber of Commerce and other area sponsors.
And we've got ourselves a beautiful Monday across the area. We've got sunny skies, temperatures on the average upper 60s, low 70s. Some of our western counties, Chanute, Yates Center, Fredonia, Independence, Points West, could be a little closer to average in the mid 70s. Clear skies persist through the evening, as do cool temperatures, and we'll fall back into the mid to upper 40s. And then take a look. Temperatures warm to near 80 by Thursday, maybe a stray shower Wednesday evening. Thunderstorms increasing Thursday evening, and then we drop 40 degrees from 80 to 40, maybe even the upper 30s out there behind that system, so something to keep an eye on. After that, we don't recover. Temperatures low overnight in the low 40s, highs in the low 60s. Eclipse day, Saturday, looking pretty good, 60 degrees and sunny skies.
All right, well, snow leopards spotting the paparazzi. The snow leopards in Russia captured themselves playing with a camera. The leopards didn't figure out how to snap a pic of their own, but they did leave the camera pretty scratched up. Snow leopards are usually shy about being seen by humans, and the species is listed as vulnerable. There are presumed to be fewer than 10,000 of them left worldwide, and that number is dwindling.
That's certainly fascinating, though. They were able to find that camera, and they were like, hey, they're watching us.
Pat.
They know what's going on. They're getting
Right?
smart. They're figuring that stuff out. So, yeah, our big thing, though, we're watching them weather those. The thunderstorms Thursday night, and then that 40-degree temperature drop. So make sure you are prepared for that heading into Friday morning. Well, we want to thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your day, 4 States.